Hi guys, in this video we'll be looking at DNA, genes and chromosomes. It's probably one of the not so easy chapters, so as always, take a deep breath, believe in yourself and remember that just because you're not good at this chapter or this subject does not make you a failure. So let's get started. At the end of this video you should be familiar with these words: inheritance, DNA, gene, chromosome, allele, haploid nucleus, and diploid nucleus. I hope I'm pronouncing these right. Here's an animation of DNA. Let's start with inheritance. Inheritance is the transfer of genetic information from parents to offsprings or from one generation to another. Let's look at a few examples. For example, if your mother has red hair or your father has red hair, then you might inherit red hair as well. Another example would be your skin color. So whether you have dark, beautiful skin or fair skin or brown skin, it's something you've inherited from your parents. Even your eye color. And another example would be your height. So whether you're tall, short, medium, it's also something you've inherited from your parents. Sorry, that's LRT in the background. Let's look at the molecule that holds your genetic information: deoxyribonucleic acid. DNA or deoxyribonucleic acid is the molecule that holds your genetic information. It is double-stranded and it is made up of nucleotides. So nucleotides are the building blocks of DNA, and these can be adenine, thymine, cytosine, or guanine. Here I have drawn a picture of a nucleotide. Let's try to label this. So the red part here is the deoxyribose. Whenever you see the word ribose in a word, just remember that there is sugar involved. So this is this red part is going to be the sugar backbone of DNA. Now the one I've colored in blue here is the base of a nucleotide, and this base could either be adenine with an A, thymine with the T, cytosine with the C, or guanine with the G. So this is the one that differentiates the nucleotides. And lastly, you have the phosphate. Now we'll look at a more detailed image of nucleotides showing how they form double strand. So as you can see here, there are two strands heading in the opposite direction. There's one here and another one here. Now, the advantage of having a double strand is that it protects the coded base pairs from any damage. The base pairs are the ones in blue. Another thing to notice is that A only binds with T and G only binds with C. So AT and CG. And then the bonds that hold the bases are the hydrogen bonds. So just a quick recap. Nucleotides are the building blocks of DNA, and DNA is responsible for coding for amino acids, which form proteins like enzymes or antibodies for your body to function properly. A DNA is a very long molecule, and in order to fit into a nucleus, it has to be wrapped around something, like how a thread is wrapped around a cylindrical spool, for example. And that's exactly where chromosomes comes into the picture. A chromosome is basically a thread-like structure of DNA. So it's a thread-like structure of DNA that has been folded around proteins so that it can form a compact structure and fit into the nucleus. Now let's look at gene. A gene is a segment of DNA that codes for a specific protein. So one gene codes for one protein. Let's say this segment here in red codes for your red hair. Then this is the gene for red hair. And let's say this segment here in blue codes for blue eyes. So this is the gene for eyes. A human nucleus has 46 chromosomes, or you could say 23 homologous pairs. Homo means same. So homologous pair meaning that the two chromosomes carry the same gene. For example, both these genes here code for eye color even though they're on different chromosomes. Now let's say that you got the same gene but with two different alternatives. Like this one, let's say this gene you got it from your dad and it codes for brown eyes. And then the gene on the right, let's say this one here, is a gene you got from your mom and it codes for green eyes. So though they're both genes that code for eye color, there's a variety in there. That's what we call alleles. They're same gene but with different versions. Now, we said that humans have 46 chromosomes or 23 pairs of chromosomes, which is represented by 2n. 2n meaning that they're diploid. There's pairs, 23 pairs. But there is an exception. Diploid nucleus is only true for somatic cells. Somatic cells meaning that they're all the cells other than gametes. Gametes are sex cells. So human somatic cells have a diploid nucleus except red blood cell. If you remember clearly, red blood cells do not have a nucleus in the first place. Now, the other thing you need to know is haploid nucleus. Haploid nucleus have 23 chromosomes. An example would be gamete, and 23 is half of 46. So 2n divided by 2, that's n. To summarize it all, today you learned that inheritance is passing of genes from one generation to another. DNA is the molecule that holds your secret genetic information. A gene is a part of DNA that codes for a protein. A chromosome is basically DNA wrapped around proteins, so it can fit in the nucleus. Alleles are same genes with different versions. Haploid nucleus has half number of chromosomes, 23 for humans, and diploid nucleus have 46 chromosomes or 23 pairs of chromosomes. That's it for this video. Thank you and good luck with your revision.